All right, let's complete the exercises at the bottom of Boolean selection single conditions. Exercise 1, find all the rides with temperature below 0. So we have this temperature column, and we're just going to test that it's below 0. And then we can assign that to filt, and then we can do it like this. Let's use dot head so we don't get too much output. So here's the temperature when it's below 0 Fahrenheit. All right, ride number 2, or exercise 2, find all the rides with wind speed greater than 30. So that should be just about the same thing. So we're going to test that it is greater than 30. Like that, we create the filt. We pass in into the bikes data set, and let's just see if there are any with that wind speed. That's pretty high wind speed. You can see that there aren't too many. You can, by just looking at the index, this aligns with the integer location. So the first ride wasn't until the 2000th ride. All right, so exercise 3, find all the rides that began from Millennium Park. Let's go ahead and just copy that. And this will be an equality condition. So bikes, and this is from station name. And we're going to set it, we're going to test equality to Millennium Park, and then we'll do dot our filt and see if that is there. Now, notice I'm going to just do one quick thing. If we misspell this, say do Millennium Parks, we'll get an empty data frame. So this is still a data frame. It just has no rows. It has all columns, but no rows. So it is possible to get a zero row data frame. Find all rides with wind speed less than 0. How is this possible, right? Wind speed should always be positive. We can just copy and paste our work from over here, and we'll say less than 0. So that should be a problem. Okay, there are some wind speeds less than 0, and so that's obviously incorrect. And they might have just used this number to represent a missing value. So you'll have to read the documentation on this data set more precisely to figure out what does this number mean. Maybe it's just unable to be recorded. Our exercise 5, find all the rides where the starting number of bikes at the station start capacity was more than 50. So start capacity and end capacity. So let's do that. Filt equals bikes of the start capacity to be greater than 50, and then we'll just pass that in over there. And as you can see, I wrote the name down. So start capacity. Okay, so I have an extra T, and there we go. All right, exercise 6, did any rides happen in temperature over 100 degrees? So we'll test that. Temperature greater than 100. And we'll pass in filt like that. Oh, not 1,000, that would be deadly. No, actually, so there were no bike rides over 100 degrees. All right, let's read in a new data set here, the movie data set. Put the title into the index, and we'll complete the next few exercises. Number 7, select all movies that have Tom Hanks as actor 1. So we're gonna make sure we do movie, actor 1, and Tom Hanks like that. And then we'll pass in filt like that. So let's see. Oh, so okay, these are all of his movies. All right, so we just use the equality condition, and he's done quite a few movies. Exercise 8, select movies with IMDb score greater than 9. All right, so we have movie, and then you have to know the column name exactly. And it's over here at the end. And let's just copy it like that. So we're going to test that it is greater than 9. And then again, we just pass it into the brackets. Hopefully we're getting very good at this with all this repetition. Write a function that accepts a single parameter to find the number of movies for a given content rating. Use a function to find the number of movies for these different ratings. Okay, so we have to define a function here. So we'll just call it find, and it'll pass in a data frame, and it will determine the number of movies. So we're looking for the number. So let's make our selection. So we'll say df of the content rating, and if we look like this, that is this column. So we want that. We want to test that content rating, and it says single parameter, but I guess we'll just assume movies in our data is in our namespace, and we'll test equality against that rating. So, we'll get the content rating column and we'll test it against the passed in rating, and then what we'll return is the length of the filtered data frame. I should call that movie. All right, so we'll do the filter right here, and then we'll take the length of it, which returns the number of rows. So now we can do find of, say, R. That should give us the number of R-rated movies. PG-13, there's none of those, but there are 1,411 of that. And then lastly, we will find the number of PG movies, 686. All right, that does it for the exercises.